David Attenborough uncovers nature's nocturnal secrets later over on BBC Two with The Way Animals Shag at 6:30. Here on BBC One, tense moments later on Scrabble Night Live, but first, highlights from the MotoGP. Peugeot Vogue 1991 H-Reg. I think it's the newest bike I got actually, unless the A35 is a bit newer. So let's have a quick look around it, see how we're doing. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. I've had it ages, but I've not actually looked at it. It's been in storage at work, so it's going to be a voyage of discovery for me as well. First thing I'm noticing is there's a big spring in there, which makes me think it might be variated, which is good. If it is, I'll consider tuning it once I've got it running, right? But first things first, let's see if it runs at all. Old school Rickman top box. Hinge has gone on it, but we can do something about that, I'm sure. It's a single seat version. There's the number plate with a dealer sticker. Originally South Coates Lane Hull. As you can see, it's H-Reg. The rest of the number plate just says gaffer tape underneath the gaffer tape, so I thought I'd just leave that on. Actual indicators, unlike the other one. Going around this side, I do have the side cover for it, and I also have the front mudguard. So we can put it back together. It does turn over as well, although I'll show you in a minute. It's got the original tax disc, that's last time it was on the road. April 98, so it's been off for a while. In fact, it only had 7 years on the road. No fuel cap. I did know about that, so I've got another one on order. Inside the tank, I mean that is pretty elderly, isn't it? But looking at it, look, it's cracked. So it's not the end of the world in there, but it's not great either. I might get away with flushing it a couple of times and then just using a filter. Actual speedo. This is a higher up model than mine, which goes to 70. That is kilometres though, so that'll be interesting. 50 is about 30 miles an hour, so I'll have to try and remember that. Headlight is falling out. I think they're only clipped in if I remember rightly. Yeah, little clip down the bottom there, look. Ta-da, that's easy. It's quite funky from the front. To transport it, I had to take the front wheel off, so the brakes are out of adjustment and everything now. I also had to take the mudguard off, but that'll all go back on. It's a funky little switch. We've got that one is the choke, and it seems to be seized, so I don't know if it's the cable or the actual choke itself. There's another one, yeah, you can see the cable twitching, look. So it's the actual, does it come out or something? Yeah, I think it's supposed to be in there. I think that's supposed to be the choke slide. Maybe not, I'll have to investigate that. It's one of these old school Gertner carbs as well, still. That looks to me like a CDI box in there, which is nice. Let's hope that it is. There's either a clutch or a variator, depending what model it is, if it's variated or not. I'm assuming, is there some sort of toolbox inside here maybe? It screws on with these big, easy to undo screws that do everything. It doesn't look in too bad nick really. I mean, this should come back to some extent. And here's around the other side. Now, the tyres don't look perished. This one's quite firm actually, it's holding air quite well. I haven't checked the front one properly yet. The paint's delaminating a bit off the mags. Yeah, this tyre's not so good, but it's not been holding air as well, so I assume that it's that's That's why it's cracked. But the front one's easier to get off anyway, although I might have the whole back end apart anyway, just out of... Oh yeah, look. Didn't spot that before. So both tyres have perished. Rear suspension, how exciting. So yeah, it's a good honest clean bike, that, really. The story behind it was, someone at work knew somebody that had it in a garage with a Puch maxi as well. And the entire garage roof had caved in except the little bit covering these two bikes. So anyway, I think in the end the guy that owned them died, or decided it was time to get rid of them, and somehow my friend from work acquired them for me. So got them very cheap. Well, I didn't get the Puch maxi actually, I just got the Peugeot. Look at that beast. But there we are. So, because of the state of the tank, I suspect I probably shouldn't put any fuel in it for now and try and start it off that. And because of this situation, this one's a decompressor by the way, which works fine. That's that one. But because of the lack of choke and everything, I'm suspecting that the carb's gummed up as well, so that'll need to come off and get cleaned. So for now, should we try and start it with some fuel down the spark plug hole? See what happens. I suppose we best make sure it's not got the same sparking trouble as the other one, really. Let's have a closer look, you can't see. Hey, that's more like it. I wish the other one did that. So let's get some fuel. This fuel isn't that fresh, I think it's about 6 months old, so I'm expecting mixed results from it, to say the least. I'm not sure, because the choke doesn't work, I'm not sure if that would make any difference anyway. I'm going to decompress to start, hopefully, and see how that goes. Okay, so decompressor. I should have probably let go of the decompressor. Let's feather it a bit. There we are. Nope, nothing. That was a bit optimistic. I think I'm going to have to get on and pedal. Would you like to see a 33-year-old man sweating and panting on one of these things? Seems like it wants to go. Right, more fuel. Okay, we've topped her up. Let's try again. Try without the decompressor. See the headlight and the tail light working anyway, so that's a start. I might try the indicators soon. It's difficult to tell if it's caught or not. If it has, it's not ticking over very much. I think the carb would be dirty as hell anyway. I mean, the choke's stuck, and I don't know how well the throttle works. Yeah, it's a tough one, this. Right, let's refuel. Top quality BP fuel from summer. It's been sat outside for ages. I might have to start with some fresh fuel in a minute. See if I can go get some from somewhere. Does stink of fuel as well. Oh, that might be it. Look, the fuel line's split. No wonder it stank when I was transporting it here. It felt like it went a little bit. I think it's trying. I've cleaned the spark plug as well in the hope that that was possibly it. It's an old Champion L86C, so I might put an MGK in and try that. After all, it is French. Yeah, bloody French bikes. I'm off in for a coffee. Here's the carb for the Vogue. It says on the bottom, made in France, Gertner G, and Gertner DG. And somewhere else on it, there, on the side of the float ball, D12G181.A1290. A1290. So that has now been cleaned. I did a lot better job of cleaning the inside than the outside, incidentally. and it's ready to go back on. I've just got to finish cleaning out the snorkels on the airbox, which is outside, so I can't show you. But basically I've got the inside and outside of the airbox cleaned. Got the two holes that let air into the actual airbox, unlike tubes to stop water getting in. Yeah, they're a bit manky on the inside, so I need to find something that I can clean that out with, like a bottle brush or something. So while we've got it here, just a little bit more about this carb. So the throttle cable comes in here. Focus. Throttle cable comes in here and clips around this wire retainer there, and when you press on it, I'll use the hand. When you press on it, it lifts up that lever there, which in turn lifts, come on, so there's your throttle, and then the other cable comes in there. It goes around a 90-degree bend under here, look, under that sort of ridge, and there is your choke slide. So underneath this air cleaner thing is like a Delauto SHA style flap that moves. So external jet, focus. This one is a B464. So I'm assuming that's a size 64 jet. I should have just looked on the phone actually, rather than moving it out of the way of the shot to look at it, because it's a lot clearer and more magnified. And also, what else was I going to show you? Yeah, the top of the float ball here is only held on by this bit of metal there. So that it's screwed on there, and it just pushes down on that. It's not spring loaded or anything. So luckily it's got a fairly beefy rubber seal on it, but still quite impressive that it keeps the air out, if indeed it does. Okay, the carb is clean and on. It doesn't look clean because I've got the outside of it all oily again, putting it back on. But everything's sorted, including the choke cable, which wasn't functioning previously. I've adjusted it and it's fine now. So all it needs is a fuel line. This bit of manky old fuel line taken off once I've drained the tank again. Fill it up with fuel and we'll give it a try. I haven't got any two-stroke oil today, and it's snowing, so that's going to be it for today, I think. Happy winter, everyone. Right, okay, slightly more clement weather today. I'm not being snowed on, which is a bit more desirable than last time I was out here. So let's get rid of this makeshift tinfoil fuel cap here, and the weird plug that seems to be letting a bit of water in, and get some fuel in it. I've cleaned out the fuel pipe. I've used the old one because it's still nice and flexible. I've put a cheap Chinese filter on it that I'll chuck away after I've run it for a little bit, just, you know, to see what crap's on there, and then put a decent one on. I'm now going to make a fuel cap from the thumb of this glove. I've left the fuel on for a bit, so the new filter's filled up and the float ball should fill up on the carb. Let's give it a go. This is the bit where you get to laugh at me panting and being out of breath. I have checked and there isn't an off switch or a kill switch. If you want it switched off, you just have to decompress it. It seems to me that the decompressor's sticking a little bit actually, because it doesn't always feel like the engine's turning over. Trying to go. I'd get it started for you. There we are, look, you see, it's less disappointing than the last video, isn't it? I hope that was worth the rubbish cliffhanger. Right, I'll just warm it up a bit and then I'll see if it'll idle. Probably not, I should think it can. Normally on a carb you set the idle speed at 2.5 turns out on the idle adjust screw and see where you go from there, but clearly that didn't work. Restart's nice and easy though, eh? Although it sounds like an exhaust leak to me. I'm going to talk over this bit because it's quite embarrassing. You can hear me panting so much. I'm such a fat old man now. Oh God. Anyway, right, let's try and start it and see how easy it restarts, which isn't too bad, is it, luckily? Right, let's check out the lights. Tail light, yeah. Headlight, yeah. Faff about with the indicators as well. I don't think it's going to take a great deal to get this MOT'd, to be honest. Yeah, that works. Yeah. I'm going to clean it. I'm going to make it look a little bit tidier. I'm going to change the tyres and tubes. I'm going to change the belt. I'm going to put the front mud guard back on once I've done the tyres and tubes. Put it all back together and probably just send it straight for an MOT. I've got to check out that exhaust leak. And I'm not sure that back wheel's running true, but it might just be the manky old tyre spinning around and making it look like it's wobbly. But I'll obviously give it a once over, but I don't think there's a great deal it needs doing, which is quite nice. Let's see if we can get an MOT on it and ride it around all summer. And it revs nice and freely as well. It seems to rev like, it wants to rev. Somebody, I think it was the fellow I bought my orange Gorelli off back when I very first started messing about with mopeds, told me that these are, I think, one of the fastest bikes you can get straight out, without doing too much work to them, which is quite good. I don't know whether I believe him, but there we are. So I was worried it might not be able to vent and it would cause a vacuum in the tank and stop the fuel feeding down, but actually it's positive pressure. Look, it's popped the glove out. I'm going to put something alongside it to let the air out.